Hello, welcome to day 18 in creating this modern OpenGL game engine, and well, yeah, let's just get to it. So, what were we doing last time? Last time we were doing input, and we had just finished the STL input. So what we had was this method of checking input, like from the users and like the user, I mean the developer that uses the game engine, they would have to do something like this to use input, but they would never have to interact with something like STL. They could just use whichever one they wanted. I'm just going to get rid of this because this essentially was something that I like. This was a possible way of thinking of checking for input, but we have a very similar method anyway, so that is all good. Also, do we still have that method? C dot get events. Yeah, get key number. We shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't need that. So if I go to core events, CPP and HPP, shouldn't actually need that. What does the CPP version do? Actually, I think I might be using it. If I go to SDL, for example, it might be in the framework SDL. Core events. Before I did use it, I can also get rid of this as well. And let me sort out some indentation stuff. I know where I used it, is where this set key status method was implemented. So that will be core engine. Nope. Is it core events? Set key status, events object dot get key number. Okay, so instead of doing events object dot get key number, I'm actually just gonna do this get key number, and obviously I'll just pass in key. But the only difference is I'm actually gonna put this as a private method. Make sure they're still working. So if I go to the main, so the condition was if the A button is pressed, I'm pressing S, should be nothing. Press A, we get input. Key kept A pressed, we got a bunch of input, and time went on. All good stuff. That's very, very good. But now we shouldn't be able to do stuff like c.get events get key number, so that would no longer work now. Try and build that, we should get an error saying it's a private member. That's all good. Again, there's no point the user having to interact with SDL or whatnot by just choosing which one they want. So now what we want to do is the same for SFML and GFW. Let's do SFML now. So if we go to the definitions, let's enable SFML. So if we go to SFML, we already have the code right here for it. Like the the events thing seems to be A-OK. So now that's A-OK. I know this event is not. So I'm just trying to think why is the best way to go about it. Okay, so first of all we're gonna need another case. So case SF event key key released. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go back to SDL and I'm going to copy and paste this. This is when the key has been pressed down. When the key is pressed down, we want to set the key status to pressed. We don't want to do get, SDL key from scan code or anything. What we want to do, I think, is just window event.key.code, and we should be able to do the same for the other one. We'll get rid of this as well. Should be able to just change this to released. It was released, wasn't it, or was it not pressed? Released. I'm actually going to see what happens. I'm hoping that it just works. So if I click any normal key, that doesn't work. But as you see in the main.cpp, there's a check for A. A works. That is fantastic. So if I were to do like else if, I'm actually going to do an else here, just so this is essentially going to be triggered when a key is released. So I'm going to say released std and line. Run that, and that's constantly being released. So what I'm actually going to do is copy and paste this. Change this to released. Okay, so what we're going to do is okay, so now it is actually constantly printing it off, and that will probably be the reason why in core events we was doing something like no state. If we're doing the same state, it would just make sense to put it outside of here instead. Not pressed. That won't work now because the state that we're checking for will not be valid. So that's the reason why we were putting it in here. And now let's try it again. No, I don't want this. So if I click, so it's only printing out release once every single time I release the key. Now if I click A, press, it does A pressed. Obviously the longer I'll keep it pressed for. I pressed it for quite a while then, though you'll print out a lot, but it only prints out release once. That is good, and that should work for the SDL stuff as well. So I'm happy with that. We should just be able to get rid of this now. We got keyboard input for this done. Let me actually get rid of this as well. So 21 different enumerations not handled yet. We'll handle them at a later date. And well, now the final one is just GLFW. So if we go to definitions, type in GLFW, starters. Does the core events have everything that we need? I don't think we're going to need these at all. Because if we go to the framework GFW, key callback, set key status, key press released, that may already work as it is. Actually, I want to check that. Am I doing get instance here as well? No, I'm not. Why am I able to get core events the other way? So if I were to just do outside non-valid static thingy-majiggy. Was it something to do with this perhaps? I can't remember. Nope. Because it was a static void, that was it. That's fine because these are singleton objects anyway, so if we go to core events, you can see we've got a singleton instance, so that's not a problem at all. I can get rid of this as well. So if we go back to, what was it? Framework GFW. I'm ready to actually run this now, see what happens. So if I click F, comes up with release, which is good. Click A, it says A press release. So this is just a single input. We'll probably go change the input to the different type after, but that's looking good. It's looking like, I just want to do one last check. If we go to the main, instead of the, the A key, we do like up, which is the up arrow key. See if this is still working. Yep, no. That does not work unless the up arrow key it works on the actual number pad. So what could be left? So what I'm actually going to do is go to framework GFW, print out key. Is there an up arrow key? Let's have a look. If we go to events GFW CPP, okay, yeah, the left right is the keypad. What about the other left right? Nah, that can't be right. That must be part of it. So if we go to GFW up arrow key, so key underscore up. yeah, it's probably best if I change this to key underscore up instead, because at the end of the day we have the others for, you know, the keypad. I don't know why I did that. It's a pretty stupid thing to do, but what's done is done. Let's just sort it out. So copy that, paste that over here, over here, and for this one we're going to change this to a left, right. We'll probably come across more errors like these as we go on. It's just one of those things in development. So run this now and it won't run, but if I try and run it again, it should be a-okay, and it should pick up the left key that I pressed. Oh no, the up key. Up key is now working. I just want to quickly make sure it's working all for SDL, so, and SFML for that matter. So SDL. Up. Nope, it does not work. So it's probably got something similar in here as well. So instead of that, that should be up. Forward, nope. So now I need to figure out what up and down is for this. So SDL, up arrow key. SDLK up, that would be left, this will be right, this will be up, and this will be down. So we run it after we've spelled it correctly. If I click B, doesn't do anything. If I click left, doesn't do anything apart from release. If I click up, all good. And now let's just finally check out GOFW. I'm pretty sure this all faces the same problem. Okay, so if I click left, release, A, release. If I click up, A, press. Okay, so apparently I did that one correctly. Yep. For some reason I thought I did have SFML. No, I enabled GLW should be SFML. I think it looked A-OK to me anyway. Based on what I can see, if I click E, release, left, release, up, A and release. It says A because that's what we're printing out in the main. That doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Just going to go on to the web browser, wherever it may be. And now let's go on to GitHub. Also, for those that don't know, just started a SDL2 tutorial series today. And yeah, the first video is out. It is the Mac and Xcode setup video. We're doing Windows as well, potentially other IDs and other OSs like Linux. Once we've done that stuff, we'll actually get on to coding and teaching SDL. So let's have a look at the game again. Oopsie daisy. Notes. Keyboard events are done for the most part. So now we need to look at mouse events. we got SFML enabled. Let's just check out that SFML mouse events. Okay, what events could we cover? We need to be able to cover the X and Y position. Duh. We need to cover wheel movement. Okay. Maybe vertical wheel. Obviously, we need to be able to cover, you know, pressed and released events. Mouse move, mouse entered, mouse left. Just quite a bit to cover. So let's get on with it. I'm actually going to move this over here. It'll be easy to access. We go to SFML, and before we do that, what I'm going to do, first of all, got keyboard definitions. That's all fine, but I'm also going to create another one for mouse definition. So create new file. Of mouse underscore definitions. Nope, not tag, it should be the name. Mouse definitions.hpp. So just gonna put a hash pragma once. Hash pragma once. And now I'll just copy and paste this to save some time. I can actually get rid of this. Finally. This was the bane of my life, this was. For this it's going to be mouse status. I think we should have two mouse statuses. One there should be for the actual movement itself, so it's just not moving. It's moving. We'll go back to the website. So when it's moving, there's mouse move, mouse entered, mouse left. But that's to do with the mouse itself. Then I think we should have one for mouse key status. So this would be not underscore moving. Moving. I'm gonna put 112, 113 on me, 114, 115. Mouse entered and mouse left, so this will be picked up when the mouse enters the window. Entered equal 1116. Mouse wasn't left, was it? Mouse left apparently. Equal 117. Save that. And now what we need to do is an enum for mouse key status. And we're actually going to do something very similar to this. So not pressed, pressed and released. I think they're a very good place to start because it's still a key at the end of the day, though it's on a separate device. So the functionality in terms of the way the user interacts with it will be pretty similar. Okay, so that's all good. water that's forming at the bottom of my bottle is making my coaster stick to this, so it's coming off. I am going to go and get some tea, and then I will be back, and then we'll continue with mouse input. Okay, let's continue with this mouse input. So, definitely quite a bit of stuff to do with mouse. Let's handle mouse key first. So, first I think we should actually create the methods in the events interface, or the core events. In the core events, so we're gonna have a bool check mouse key status, and we need to, well, put in key status, and we also need to, well, specify the actual key that we're checking. So key this might require another sheet. It will depend on what each individual framework supports in terms of keys, because SFML seems like it supports let's have a look how many keys it supports. SF it's got left, middle, right, X button 2, not gonna concern ourselves with wheel at the moment, so we just concern ourselves with left, middle and right at the moment. So if we go to events, SFML, I clean the event interface. Also want a multi-map. And this is going to map the actual mouse key translation. So mouse key translations now in the CPP. What we're going to do is actually have a method that's going to be get mouse key number, get mouse key number, and this is just going to be mouse key translations, and that's going to be all good. Now in the SFML CPP, we need to actually initialize it. So this mouse key translations dot insert std : pair int sf mouse left, and it's going to be keys. I don't actually have any mouse keys at the moment, so I need to go to, like I've done in here, copy and paste this. I've done just like so. So if I were to do mouse, I mean left mouse keys, right equals 1, and now middle equals 2. So back into here, this needs to be mouse underscore. First of all, it probably would help if I included the correct files where I needed them. So mouse definitions, go back to the events SFML. So mouse keys left. So I'll copy and paste that, and I want to do the same thing for right and middle. And now let's change the SFML one to middle as well. So save that. That's all good. Don't need to concern ourselves with GFW or STL for now. And yeah, check mouse key status. So I'm going to copy that. And also need my own set of mouse key statuses. Mouse key status. So mouse keys status, and there's only 3 in here at the moment, luckily. So should be able to copy most of this, put into here, change key status to mouse keys status. I want this to be a lowercase m. This should be mouse keys status. This should be mouse keys mouse keys status, and it should be whack in mouse definitions into here. In here now, where was I looking? This should be able to pick up the, which it isn't. It's not doing like not underscore pressed. It's not picking that up for some reason, so I need to, okay, there needs to be a semicolon there. That fixes that problem. Build it. And redefinition of enumeration released. That will be because of the keyboard definition. I'm positive, obviously. If I were to delete that, see what comes up. Nope. Because it's in the same file, yeah, it needs to be. Does it not like that? So if I were to get rid of that. Redefinition of enumeration not pressed. If I get rid of this, that should theoretically produce no errors now. That's fine. Obviously I need the code from within here. Maybe if I were to put it within a namespace, so namespace Sonar game engine. So C++ enum with same name children. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this to keyboard. So KB, change this to MS for mouse, or for mouse, or M underscore. I'm actually going to put mouse. I think that'll be a lot better. I think KB is fine, but I feel like M is not enough for a description to know what it is. So instead of mouse now, this is actually going to say mouse key. I'm going to have left and right here. Build it, let's see what happens. Yeah, we should get errors everywhere else now because we've changed a bunch of stuff. So this will need to be changed to KB underscore no member. Let's should get some more errors, at least in the main. Can we get it here as well? Build it again. Should definitely get some in the main. So let's just make sure this is still working. Before we still get errors in the core events now. And okay, this should actually be mouse key not pressed. Failed again. Yeah, I do need to have mouse key at the end of this. So now let's just make sure if I run it, click D, it's released. If I click A, it should still be released. If I click up, I click it twice so it triggers out the press as well. So I can get back to the mouse stuff now that we've got this stuff done. Go to the core events, check mouse key status. We set mouse key status and essentially doing what we've already done here. And we need to do one similar for set mouse key status. Set mouse key status, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to copy this. This needs to be set mouse key status now, so I'm set mouse key status. And I need to change this to mouse key status. I'm also going to need to change this as well. Get mouse key number, get mouse key number, get mouse key number, get mouse key number. And I need to do the same in the events file, meaning the interface file. So if I copy and paste this, I've already got it in there, which is good. Okay, where is this single? Oh, we've got an error that's disappeared, which is good. So now we need to go into SFML, CPP. I mean, no, actually not even there. In the framework file, and if there's an event, we need to do case SF event mouse button pressed, and there's mouse button released. Those are two mouse buttons. Okay, what's that moaning about? Okay, so now we're actually gonna do something similar here. Again, copy and paste this, put it here, and I'm gonna set this to set mouse key status. So we need key and status, so the key no. If I go to interface, no, not even there. Go to core events. I don't want to set, I want to set mouse key status, but I also want to set mouse status as well. Set mouse button status. I want to be able to just do a default check. If let's say I click this key, maybe I just want to do a check if a key is pressed on the mouse, not this particular one. And if I want to do that, I don't want to have to, just do 3 different checks and potentially even do 4 or 5 more, or even more, potentially an unlimited amount depending on how many buttons the mice have. That's the reason I'm thinking could have a method. So we got one for set mouse key status. This would set the status of every single mouse key individually. Actually, I'm going to set mouse button status. I just prefer that instead of key. So button, and change key status to button status. Do the same in the set mouse button status function as well. Button, and now just need to set this to button, just doing a bit of refactoring now. And if you go to the events CPP, we need to change this to set mouse button status, key to button, key status to button status, now this to button, and just these two now. Another thing I need to change is mouse buttons status. Need to do the same here. And this is going to be button, this is going to be mouse button status. That also changes to button number, and there's one problem with this one, so have a look to figure it out. add button instead of buttons. Build it, make sure it's still running before we continue. But failed, let's see where the error lies. The error lies here for some reason. No member name, set mouse key status. Set mouse button status. Yeah, before we do that, yeah, that's what we was getting at. What we could do is in the framework SFML, using the core events file I'm looking for. Starters, we need to do something like this as well. Size of mouse button status. Mouse. Yeah, I need to change the definitions as well. So mouse buttons. Underscore button status and mouse status. Could also have in here mouse underscore I just feel like having two methods would be better. So instead of this one set mouse button, we would have set mouse buttons status and set mouse button status. So this would just be used to set if a button is being pressed in general, and the other one will be set to check if mouse but I just feel like it's going to be too confusing. What I'm going to do is for the mouse button, I'm going to put mouse key underscore any equals -1. So if they put that one in, they can check for any key being pressed essentially. And I forgot we need to do something in here as well. So this first of all needs to be mouse mouse status mouse key not pressed. Mouse underscore button status, mouse key not pressed. Happy with that. But in the set mouse button, what I'm going to do is if something bugging me in here. Nope, that's fine. If mouse underscore buttons dot mouse key any, if that equals the button, then what we want to do is essentially we'll have a separate file like integer variable. just the mouse status. Yeah, mouse status. This mouse status equals mouse underscore status. I'm actually going to say nothing, so they're not moving. So if we go back to mouse definitions, mouse nothing. So now that we've got that, we'll say if it basically equals any key, then we need to, no, actually this should be for only for the check. So check mouse button status. First of all, what we need to do is if it equals any key, then we would return true. And now this would actually not do that. So if button status is equal to, you know, the certain button within the thingamajig, then we would just do button status that mouse key is not being pressed anymore. Return true. Go back to framework XML. Make sure we're setting it appropriately. So this was mouse underscore button status. This was pressed. Was it the key that they wanted first, or was it the button first, wasn't it? If I go back to for this, I need to do window event dot mouse button dot code dot button dot don't know if that's it or not. Put a semicolon here, see what comes up, and now we need to do the same for the code here, and this needs to change to what we've got over here. Plus this should be over here, and this should actually No, that's fine. Should only need the one now. So I don't know how confident I am about whether or not that's going to work, but let's have a look. If I do if v.getEvents check mouse button status, and if I were to do just key status and then mouse underscore buttons, mouse key any, and so for the status I'm going to do mouse button status pressed. I'm going to do std c out mouse pressed std and line. So let's see what we get now, just based on how good it failed to build. That should be buttons. So let me just build that again. Say okay, in terms of building it. Okay, apparently mouse is constantly being pressed for some reason, which is pretty darn stupid if you ask me. So we're saying if mouse key any, if the mouse button status, the mouse key is being let's do mouse key underscore left, run this, that's fine. If I were to click left, that worked. I right clicked now, that didn't work. If I middle click, that don't work. If I left click, that works good. It's just the, let's just check on the time. Okay, we'll be wrapping up in a moment. It's just the any key that messes up, and I know why it messes up, because if we go to core events, if we go to where we check for this any key, it messes up because we don't have a proper button status thing. We don't have it in. What we essentially need is okie dokie. So what I'm gonna do is just wrap it up for this video, and I will continue doing this in the next video. What I'm actually gonna do is just make a quick note on GitHub so we know where we were at. So we made good progress. Mouse events, look at, I want to put a dash, look at having the option to detect any button being pressed. Example would be a intro to a main menu. Okie dokie, so yep, apart from that, that's all good. I will commit the code in a few minutes. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in day 18. I mean, this is 18, day 19. Though hopefully that should be in a couple of days. Tomorrow we'll be doing the PHP web framework vlog, and hopefully in 2 days I'll be doing the OpenGL one again. So if you've got any suggestions, code suggestions, documentation suggestions, notes, anything like that, feel free to suggest it. And as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.